Good afternoon, everyone. Looking out at the world here. My world. I'm just going to ramble for just a minute about something. I was thinking about distractions and how we distract ourselves in life. When I was younger, especially years past, I'd always say, why do people watch TV? It's a huge distraction. And then I started considering my own distractions, whatever it may be. The internet or working at my garden or something. And I started weighing and comparing, are there more healthy options for our time that we waste? And I realized, of course, that it's a totally subjective, personal situation. Like, for example, a family man like myself, I can't really just sit and watch television shows, but a person who lives alone, like my mom, is more likely to watch TV because there's not much else to do. A person could point the finger at her and say, oh, you should go out and do stuff, but that's not right because whatever she does is what she does. In other words, I guess the point I'm trying to make is that we're not quite sure exactly what we're wasting time for. Like, in other words, what are we distracted from? And I started really thinking about that. Like, what am I distracting myself from? And so I started thinking, well, usually when people say, oh, we're distracting ourselves, at least in the truther world, let's say, it has to do with the fact that we're not paying attention to the issues that are going on in the world. The turmoil and the bad things that are happening. Because it appears to a lot of people that everyone's blind, that they're not paying attention, that they're not aware. Meanwhile, a lot of people are really aware, they just don't know what to do about it, or what to say about it. And round it goes. And I started to realize that, even a person that's not distracted at all, I guess what I'm asking myself is, can you imagine not ever being distracted by something? I mean, some people like to just take a nature walk. Some people like to whittle a stick, and some people like to make art, paint, draw, writing, typing, blogging, all these different things we do. And we feel guilty sometimes about them. At least I do. And I'm sure that everybody has looked at their life at one time or another and said, oh, I could be spending this time doing something else, even if it's just a passing thought. And often we decide that, if you try to add up the hours you've spent, say, typing on the internet, you say, oh my God, I've spent days and days, weeks, months. But, what would you be doing in years past? Kicking the can or, reading a book? Is that any better? No. We're just basing a lot of things on our history, and we're going through changing times and growing pangs, and we're all learning together that this new world of distractions is kind of here, at least for now. Those of us who grew up, at least in the 80s, can remember a time before, for example, I find some old writings of mine where I was documenting my buddy and he was fidgeting looking for a tape to put in a tape player, It just seems those little slower moments, without having so much overwhelming access to everything we wanted, helped me to be a little more humble and not be so expectant of having everything right now. So if the shit does hit the fan and collapse, I'll be cool with it because, I'll be able to deal. But I'll just, people will always find new distractions because we have to distract ourselves. Can you imagine sitting and just thinking and dwelling on everything in life consistently, all day long? And what brought this thought about was I was in there with my kids, and once in a while I think, I'm a stay-at-home dad right now. How much time can you really spend with your kids? See? Here he comes. I have 5 minutes to make a video outside, and then the kids come looking for me. I think I spend all this time, and I still think I could spend more. But it's never enough. You could spend every waking moment with your kids, and it still would not be enough. And, that's just the human condition. Hello, son. How are you? What are you doing? You done watching your show?
Yeah.
Say hi.
Hi.
What's your name?
It's Sawyer.
What is it? Is it Sawyer?
Yeah.
Yeah. I distract myself with some gardening. We got the potatoes planted over here. I found them over in the compost pile. Yeah. And then we got our strawberries over here coming in. So it's the beginning of spring. Right, Gino? Say bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Have a good day.
Okay, Papa.
Best job I've ever had.